It seems like M. Night Shyamalan just wanted an excuse to highlight his daughter Suleika's music. So he wrote a film that takes place almost entirely at a concert with her songs as the backdrop to finding a serial killer. The result is the wildly nonsensical movie Trap. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my movie review for the film Trap. This is in theaters right now, and Josh Hartnett is the lead here. We saw him in Oppenheimer, but before that, not for quite a while. He used to be quite the heartthrob back about 25 years ago. He was in a lot of movies, but sort of took a hiatus from acting, and so popping up a little more recently, but he is in I think pretty much every scene of this movie. So, he is definitely starring in this. But really, is the star of this movie Suleika Night Shyamalan's music? I think that was certainly one of the intentions. We'll talk about this here momentarily. But first, let me welcome you back to Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got movie and TV reviews on the channel, and just about every day, something new goes up. So there's always a lot to check out. Please consider subscribing, click that like button, and comment below. All that stuff, of course, helps the channel out. And check out my Letterboxd profile as well. I have the link for that in the description below. Letterboxd is a great site to track movies and rate them and make lists and all of that. So you can check out my personal Letterboxd profile through that link. All right, so let's talk about Trap. Boy, M. Night Shyamalan, I say this all the time. Used to be, a big fan of his back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think he's had two just brilliant films in The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. Signs, pretty good. And then he's been a bit hit or miss since then, mostly miss. And I believe that I've given more Fs to M. Night Shyamalan movies than any other director. I think that is true, including one of the more recent ones, Old. That was just a horrible, horrible movie. And a lot of his movies seem to have good premises, and then he just doesn't know what to do with them or doesn't write good dialogue. And the basic premise of this movie is that a father and daughter are going to a concert. Hartnett, like I mentioned, is the father. The daughter is played by Ariel Donahue, who was in Wolf Like Me, which was a Peacock series. I think that's coming back for season 2, actually, with Josh Gad. And then Suleika Night Shyamalan is the other, main star. And look, I really think that M. Night wanted to feature his daughter's music, and he's put his daughter's music in some of his other things, including Old, and her the TV show Servant on Apple TV Plus. She did some of the music for that. Okay, so here we have an entire concert with this character that she is playing called Lady Raven. I'm not sure if that's like a Lady Gaga kind of thing. I don't know if that's the inspiration for that, but in any event, we hear probably, 10 different songs throughout this movie. I mean, it's like tracking through the whole album. And she did release an album last year. She wants to make a go of the singing thing, and that's fine. But this is, pretty bad nepotism, I would say, because I think he wanted to do a concert film with his daughter, but, nobody was up for that, I'm sure. So he's like, okay, well, what if I write a serial killer storyline kind of around it, but we'll still hear a bunch of her songs and all of this. And not only that, all right, so a lot of my movie reviews are spoiler-free. We're going to keep it pretty spoiler-free here, too. There are a few twists here that I am not going to talk about. However, Lady Raven, takes it upon herself to sort of be the hero of this thing, and it's so not believable. There's so many things about this movie that are not believable. Here are a couple of the positives, because I'm not failing it. This is one M. Night Shyamalan movie that skates by. It's going to be a negative for sure, but it's not a fail, and I'll tell you the couple reasons why. Number one, look, the songs actually are fine. Her music is good. Yes, I think the concept of this movie is a little ridiculous, but I think her music is fine that they were showcasing. And in the acting portion, which is sort of the last, maybe 45 minutes once the concert part is over, she's actually an okay actress. So I don't have many problems really with that particular portion. And Josh Hartnett, look, it's great to have him back. He was great in Oppenheimer, my #1 movie of last year. And he is good here as well. Is he one of the greatest actors of our time? No, of course not. But I like that he's getting back into acting because I've missed seeing him on the screen. And so he's fine here as well. You have Haley Mills as well, as the leader of the SWAT, the FBI team, whatever, that's trying to find this guy at the concert. And of course, always good to see her. She goes back to the 60s with the Disney stuff, Parent Trap. So first she did Parent Trap, and now she's doing just Trap. But she's fine. But that's about, I would say, where my positives end. And I will say, I suppose I was interested in seeing how and if this guy was going to get out of the concert itself, and then post-concert, what was going to happen to this character. So I guess there was a little bit of intrigue there, enough to not fail this movie. But here is the problem. Well, there's so many. But so much about this movie just doesn't make any sense. As someone who frequents concerts, I just kept saying pretty much every scene, sometimes multiple times in one scene, that's not how concerts work. That's not how concerts work. That would never happen. This doesn't happen at a concert. So much so that it made the entire premise of the movie irrelevant. And I think if you have a movie like this where there is, some psychological thriller elements, you have to be kind of in it to even care about the stakes. But if around every corner I'm like, well, that would never happen. No, that's unreal. That doesn't make any sense. It every time I probably said it, to myself anyway, 20, 25 times during the concert portion of the movie. And I won't even go into specifics. If you saw the movie, maybe some of the things I'm talking about. Maybe you can pick some of the things out too. It just did not make any sense. Okay, I'll give you one example, and I don't think this is a spoiler. But at one point we learned that the FBI knows that this person has a particular tattoo. But they don't know what he looks like at all. They don't know what he looks like in the face, nothing. They have the vaguest description. So Josh Hartnett's just like walking around, nothing's happening. It's like, how would that ever happen? And that's a non-concert one. But then there's a lot that are like just ridiculous within the concert setting as well. So look, there's a few slight positives here. This movie is, I guess, better than Old. And I will say, some of the dialogue is actually more human and realistic. One of my biggest problems with Old and some of his other movies are that nobody seems to be speaking how normal people would speak or how anybody would speak. It's like these bizarre sentence structures, like a robot is saying it. And that was a huge problem I had with Old, among the many. Here, I'll say it's a little better, but the amount of things that just simply don't make sense, and just about the premise itself that don't make sense within the constructs of what would be considered a realistic setup, it loses all credibility for me. So this is another pure miss in the M. Night Shyamalan catalog for me. I leave Trap with a D. Skates above an F, but he still, I think, has 3 Fs for me, if I'm remembering correctly. But in any event, this is not one of them. It's slightly better due to some of those positives. I will say, I didn't mind his daughter's music. It was just the ridiculousness of her character, I guess, overall, that I questioned over and over again. So, all right, thank you for watching Dan Reviews It. I'll see you next time. Bye.